Well, I'm going home from work. It's 7 in the morning. I have a few nights off for Christmas. I'll be posting some videos, God willing. That's a strange. I'm thinking there's got to be a natural explanation for it. But I've got a printer, regular, printer takes toner cartridges, fairly new one. But, they're all the same. You put your toner cartridges in, it's... Well, I haven't used it in about 2 months, and it's unplugged. And not only is it unplugged, it's not plugged into the computer. It's not plugged into anything. But the thing keeps powering up. It keeps acting like it wants to print periodically. But I don't know how it's doing that. I mean, I know sometimes appliances can retain electricity. But this has been doing this for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Next time it does it, I'm going to try to get it on video. But it's not plugged into anything. Not plugged into any power. It hasn't been for months. So if there was residual electricity in it, it should have been discharged. It's not plugged into the computer, the coax cable that, the one that sends the data. It's not plugged into anything. And yet it will. It'll start going through the cycles like it's getting ready to print something. That's kind of starting to weird me out a little bit, honestly. This paranormal stuff is really starting to wear me down. It's not something that I just cherish or I get a kick out of it. I don't anymore. I stopped getting a kick out of this stuff a long time ago. I've never looked for it. Though I confess I've had an interest in it quite a lot. Just reading other people's stories and watching videos. Never played with Ouija boards. Never went on ghost hunts. I don't believe in that. I think for myself it would be a mistake because I seem to attract to stuff anyway. Like I've told people, I don't have to look for it. It finds me. And, I don't know what you call that. I read an account by a man in New York State, a Christian man. This was about 10, 15 years ago. I read this, where he sounded quite a bit like myself, and he was a devout Christian, and nothing he could do would turn it off. And one time he lived in an old house in upstate New York. I can relate. And the house was, of course, it was haunted. And he had some kind of communication with one of the spirits, a woman's spirit. And like myself, he didn't believe in seeking these things out. And I don't think he made it a habit of trying to communicate. But, he was getting haunted so much. Like myself, he was starting to wonder, didn't know what to make of it. It can really be unnerving in your life. Well, he asked the spirit why these things were attracted to him. And one of the spirits, the woman spirit, I believe, as I recall, said that in the spirit world, you look like a very, very bright light, and things are attracted to you. And that's makes about as much sense as I can come up with. Because I don't look for this stuff. I don't like it personally. I'm getting used to it, where it doesn't bother me like it used to. What else? What am I going to do? I pray about it and I leave it in God's hands. But I don't know what I'm really just pray to God to take care of all these things. And I don't know what to think. I sometimes wonder if my grieving Jen is holding her back. You know, I don't want to hold her back. It's natural, I think, to grieve like I am somebody you had a very deep connection with. And uncommon in my life. I've never experienced anything like it. I don't know what to think about anything anymore. It's really starting to wear me down, quite honestly. It's really starting to wear me down. I just got to have faith in God. Have faith in God. You know, I drive by this Mennonites and Amish live around here. There's a lot of morning. This is all morning traffic. And sometimes they drive crazy. This is not a good place to drive fast. Too many deer come out on the road. But this is kind of a busy road. It connects to Ithaca, where all these, Ithaca and Auburn, this two small cities, this road connects. So it's pretty busy in the morning. And I got people wanting me to drive faster. That's nothing new. Ah, man. It was a long night. I run this machine. It's actually a production line. Normally, you'd have 4 people working it. But this one, it's just myself and 4 robots. Like robotic arms that do the work. And it's cool to watch them work. But robots get tired, robots make mistakes. And I've got to pretty much babysit them. But the robots weren't working well tonight. I don't know. Towards the end of the shift, they were working well. I don't know that they do. They do about the same amount of work as people do, honestly. Having worked a similar line as part of a team of 4, our numbers were about the same, possibly a little better. About the same. But then again, that's 4 people you don't have to pay, I guess. It's pretty interesting. But they do not run themselves, and they are far from perfect. But when everything's running good, it's impressive. And that's my job, to make it run good. I'm learning. And I can say no more. I'm not supposed to share too much on social media about my work. We make high-performance car parts. That's about all I'll say. But I got to work tonight, and then I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got 4 nights off. 3 nights off. That's going to be a luxury. I'll probably miss work. I don't have anything going on. I'm staying home for Christmas. I'm going to make some videos for YouTube and do some housework, catch up on some things. I'm telling you, working 7 nights a week, you get behind. My house isn't dirty, but it's cluttered. I got to get at the clutter. Yeah, at that printer doing it every night. It does it every evening. I'll try to get it on video. Maybe it only goes on for about 5 seconds, where it's like your printer when it's booting up when you turn it on. It cycles through and makes some noise. That's what this one's doing. I'll try to get it on video. Because, I've told a lot of stories, but I don't have much evidence. It's a shame. I'll tell you, years ago when I was in Winchester, England, the cathedral, and that diner there, excuse me, I'm going to have dinner at tomorrow morning. They got good food. At least they used to. I haven't eaten there in a while. But, what was I saying? I'm going to make some videos, clean up. I don't know. Then back to work. I would have had the whole week off, but I opted to work. They offered me time and a half pay, and I said, I'll take it. And then again, I work on New Year's holiday. I'll work through that too. What's New Year's to me? It's nothing. It's just another number. Sorry. It used to be a big deal. Christmas, I'm not going to be spending it with my family. I did mail out people gifts. They got candles and they got candle holders. They look kind of nice. They got 3 candles, red, green, and white, with this 3 candlestick holders that kind of go together as a set. This road I've hit 2 deer on. There's not much you can do. They just jump out, you know. They just come out of the brush. You usually don't have time. Yep. A big swamp to my left. You know, I like swamps. I took in my college years, I minored in biology. And there was a professor, I liked the guy a lot. Rather young man at the time, probably in his mid-30s, late 30s. Dr. Dulce, Italian guy. But he specialized in herpetology. And that's the study of reptiles and amphibians. And he really impressed upon me, as a good teacher does, impressed upon me how important wetlands are to our life. That so much diverse animals live in swamps and wetlands, all kinds of stuff. And we went out in the field, and he really gave me an appreciation for swamps and wetlands and marshes. So many animals rely on them, and we rely on them more than we know. Yeah. I don't know what to think about things. I'm going to try to move on. I've got another video to make, at least one I know, that has to do with my grieving. Something I want, a great big coincidence or something else. But I'll get to that when I get to it. And other than that, I'm going to try to move on. You know, I've had 3 messages in the past year from my mother and 2 from Jen. Both visitations after death, whatever you want to call it. But they all gave me one sentence in each one. And here are the 3 messages. I love you. You need to move on with your life. And it has to be this way. Our separation. Just for now. And that's beautiful. You know that? What better messages for somebody who's grieving? It has to be this way. Our separation. And when she told me that, my mom, she was holding my hands and looking at me lovingly. And she wanted me to know that it's going to be all right. That, we're not going to be apart. It has to be this way just for now. And Jen told me that she loved me and that I need to move on with my life. So you put those 3 messages together. And I like to think that it has to be this way, the separation. Like my mom said, it has to be this way just for now. The separation also goes not just for my mom, but watch it. But for all my loved ones, that we'll see our loved ones again. But it has to be this way, just for now. And we'll see them again. But you know, it's part of why we're here. We're here to do something. And people leave, we leave. I understand it has to be this way just for now. I just hope my loved ones are happy and well. I'm fine by myself. I ain't gonna be here much longer myself. I'm getting older. There is some solace, and as much as old age is, you know, creeping up on me and you too, it is comforting to know that we're almost done. You know, on one hand, I cling to life, you know, like everybody does, and we're supposed to cling to life. You know, that's how we were designed. But it's also comforting to know that, hey, I'm getting close to being done here. As a matter of fact. There you go, see? Have faith in God. That's what the sign says. You know, I don't think that was Mennonites, actually. Mennonites always have the signs out in front of their yards, but that didn't look like Mennonites. Have faith in God. I love that sign. Just simple things like that, you know, can have a big impact. There's a house up here, the green one, right up on the right there. I've got a really old photograph of that house from the 1800s somewhere. And it looks the same, except it was painted white and it had a picket fence around it. And there's a little boy sitting on the steps with his head in his hands, looking depressed. If I ever find it, I'll give it to those people. I came across a lot of pictures. Yeah, this is all morning traffic. This road is not this busy, except, you know, people coming and going to work. And a bunch of Revolutionary War soldiers buried here. So I got a little history with this little town. Here's another good diner on the left, Barb's Diner. I call it Barb's Greasy Spoon. Delicious greasy food. I'm going to either eat there or I'm going to eat at the other one that I said earlier I'm just going to eat at. Well, not much going on. I'm going to make some candles and try to get some sleep. It's hard to sleep in the daytime. I usually take a melatonin. Sometimes I'll take a Benadryl. They knock me right out. Sleep you through anything. Considering getting another dog. Not right now. Either a rat terrier, which I had a rat terrier, very energetic dog. Very smart, on the job. I had one, my dog Maggie was the world's greatest dog for a rat terrier. They like to run. So it's either a rat terrier or another basset hound. But my heart still broke from losing my other basset. And they're a lot of maintenance. And they're not very healthy dogs. God, they've got personality. And they don't run off either. They don't run off. At least when they get a little older, out of puppy stage. Yep, I didn't need a fence with my dog. He's like, they get lazy when they get older. And they're a great dog, but they require a lot of hands-on care. And their life expectancy isn't that long, really. They like to say they'll live 12 or 14 years. That may be the case. Mine lived to be 7.5. And 2 other people I know that love bassets said, yep, same thing. Theirs died at 7 or 8 years old. It'll break your heart. So it's, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. As I'm planning to go to France now, there's a school bus up in front of me. And they'll pull over to let us go by, which is nice. I am planning to go back to Dinan, France. Dinan, but pronounced Dinan, in Brittany. So, I don't want to get a dog yet, as much as I'd love to have one. I come home after work, there's nobody there. Not even a dog. And at least it's nice to have a dog to say, hey, hi, They're always sincerely overjoyed to see you walk in that door. Even though, with a puppy or even a basset hounds are hard to house train. You're going to walk in the door to, a mess, most likely, for a while. And they made maybe some destruction when they're puppies. They you know what to expect. It's worth it. I don't mind it. I don't have carpeted floors. Makes the messes easy to clean up. One thing I've learned you don't yell at them. It's not good to yell at your dog. They're very sensitive. I think all of you know this. Be gentle with them, always. They'll learn. It breaks your heart to see them get sick and die, but they're going to anyway. Everything born dies, so they're either going to be with you or they're going to live their life out with somebody else. It's not your fault they get sick and they die anymore. It is the people we love. So you just do the best you can by them, and you did your best. That's how it is with all relationships. Right down to plants. And all the way up to God. I do my best by God. Try to make Him happy. Tell Him I love Him. And do what He says. Do my best to be more Christ-like each day. Give thanks for everything. I'm going to give thanks again for another day at work. I'm so alone in this town. I just passed what was my mother's house. I'm so alone here. It occurred to me last night driving to work. As my car broke down or I got stuck, I got absolutely nobody to call. Nobody. So I better have a plan. And if I called a taxi, it could be 3 hours before they come out and get me. So I've got warm clothes, sleeping bag, and a plan. I always make sure I've got my bank card on me in case I do have to call a taxi, but it would take a while. I've got things to keep warm. I have absolutely nobody to call. This guy, hello. That guy used to be a cop. He's out here. I like him. He's a very jolly fella. He always waves to me. Waves to everybody. I'm gonna go up and around. You're gonna get a little tour of my little. These roads aren't like this. You'd be surprised how empty these streets are. But morning traffic, forget it. There's the crosswalk woman. She's nice too. Hello. She didn't see me. She usually waves. I'll take a hello where I can get it, and I'll give one too. Thinking I might go to the Christmas service Saturday evening. Maybe I'll take some videos. That's pretty much Main Street. That's pretty much Main Street. I just want to drive up here and see if my friend's home. One friend I have in this town, Tom. Not a really acquaintance. You know, we don't hang out much or anything. He's busy, I'm busy, and we're just not buddy-buddy kind of people. School bus. Look at that little kid. Looks like she's about as tall as up to my knee. This town used to be a spiritual center in the 1870s and 80s. And I mean, like the American Spiritist movement, like really centered right in this town. Big coincidence, I live here. There's a house up on the brick house on the left, or on the right, I mean. I'm going to drive by it. And they say that they used to have a lot of seances and spiritist meetings right past this white car here. The house set in there, the brick house. Right in there. They say Mary Todd Lincoln came here trying to contact her husband and her dead sons. The Indians in this town, I read this, I know I've said this before, but the Indians never would live here. They said the town was this was too spiritually active, this area. It wasn't a town when the Indians were here. No, my buddy's not there. I wonder if he went to Cuba. That's pretty much the end of this town. A few houses. I'm going home, turning around. I was just wondering if he said he was going to go. And his thing, I go to France, he likes to go to Cuba. Jen lived on this road. It's hard for me to not think of her. I still struggle. It's been 9 months, and I'm still struggling hard. Not as hard as I was. I'm getting a little better. I feel like I need to. She said you need to move on. She said, I love you. My mother said, it has to be this way, the separation from loved ones. It has to be this way just for now. You know, I'm very fortunate to have had these. That's why I'm sharing it. I think I was fortunate to have these experiences. And it all makes sense, doesn't it? They still love us, just like we still love them. But the separation, it has to be this way. It's always been this way. People die and you're separated from them. And we all hope we meet up again. And according to my mom, we do meet up again. Because it has to be this way, and she emphasized the words, just for now. She said it with the emphasis, just for now. And I love you came across, they still love us. Your loved ones still love you. I don't know why. I guess I'm weaker. Honestly, I think I'm a weaker person in ways. Because most people suck it up and they just silently, they drive on. You know, they may be weepy for a while, then they get over it and they move on. Not me. No, I hang on. I mean, I don't normally hang on so much like I am with Jen. That, couldn't tell you why, but it was really different for me. Yeah. I couldn't explain it. I can't put it into words. But I guess I need to take those 3 messages of one Catholic church, St. Patrick's on the left. I'd show you, but I want to get home. And I used to live on this street. Up here on the right. All right, folks, that's all for now. Remember, 3 messages. They still love us. We need to get on with our lives, short lives as they are. It has to be this way, the separation just for now. And, all right, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Have a good day. Good night.